Hey there, card fighters. Woodland Docs here with another episode, even though nobody asked for it, of Deck Check podcast. This week, we are back on our regular schedule. No more tornadoes for me or for Matt. Unless, Matt, you live 10 minutes away. Were there tornadoes by you? I don't know.
Uh, only a few.
Only if you. Okay, so your electricity was on
You
the whole
you you
time.
you, yeah, you couldn't tell though.
They were
They
invisible.
were localized entirely in my backyard.
See, you know what? Matt made a Simpsons reference, just makes the little inside of me so happy. But if anybody else that got that, you're my new friend. Anyways, guys, we are still without Ryan. He's in Alaska, or maybe he fell off the boat. I don't know. But, I don't want to say we have someone better than Ryan. We do have a guest host this week in Curly Haired Vanguard.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Hey, we got Curly this week, you guys, and he is going to join us for this episode, future episodes if he wants. But we were missing a third person last time, and I couldn't think of anyone better than one of my good Vanguard friends and someone who is a big part of our community, does a lot. So if you guys are interested, we did see Harry today. Or well, not Harry himself, but we saw we got our perfect guard, we got our lunatic, we got the grade 3 manticore, and we got the PG. Right? I think that's all we got.
Yep. We got also the Masquerade Bunny and the Direful Doll.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the bunny, which is our stride fodder, and then it searches a grade 3, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Then we got our what was the Direful Doll? Was the Direful Doll just a top 5 search for Soul Charge?
Yeah. Yep. And then if you guard with it, you may Soul Charge.
Yep, there we go. Okay. And then I'm a big V Harry enjoyer, and I don't have too many similarities to compare to for premium format Harry. So seeing these, they're much more closely related to that. So maybe this is my gateway to premium.
I mean, yeah, it might just be. It's definitely looking a lot more like the original Harry, specifically when it first came out. We don't have a lot of the same shenanigans that we can do, at least not yet. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and we still get our second stride, and what's the other one that we get right now?
So we have Lunatic right now. I don't know what the name of the second stride is. I forget, but something Harry.
It's like Dragon. Is it Dragon Master Harry?
Yeah, something Super Saiyan Harry, something like that.
Yeah, and then I think we have one more unit to be revealed too, but I really like the Manticore Dragon. It guarantees me a 5th attack even without seeing what the second stride is. I think that's the only during battle phase effect we've seen so far for Harry.
Yes. Yep.
So giving me to 4 attacks. No, even if I have a second copy, I can't do it because it says the first attack of the turn. So I've been trying to maybe splash some other cards in. I was suggested Selfish Engraver. Nocturcio is obviously going to be a big one. So I'm going to take that straight out of Drajuled. I'm not paying. It was $40 a copy when I looked this morning.
It still is, unfortunately. I mean, we don't know yet if you'll play it because the Manticore, I feel like maybe you'll play it at 4 copies, but we also have access to the tongue, the Pale Moon promo for Lukier that works in Harry, but you can use that to put the Manticore into Soul, so maybe you only need 1. I don't know.
And then we also have Jovial Juggler from the what was that set 11?
Yes.
So we've got Jovial Juggler. We can splash in there. So we have options. I just I want to build it out of the box and see what it. And I know that's not going to be optimal, but I'll play test it because fortunately we're going to know what it is like 4 months ahead of time between JP release and US release. So I'll have 4 months to look at the out of the box version and make it optimal. So I'm happy with it though. I'm getting Harry in standard, and next year at Tri-Reg we are playing Harry.
Great, can't wait. And you're gonna go up against Night Rose out. Can't wait to see which one of you wins.
That's gonna be perfect. And Matt's over here silent because he's not a stride enjoyer, and normally I'm not either. But come on, it's my boy. I don't know.
That's fair.
So Matt, next year at Tri-Reg, which Harry do you want?
None.
Oh, come on! He
wants Night Rose. That's what it is.
Yeah, he's on the Night Rose team. We're gonna form two teams from our shop. One's gonna be all Night Rose.
Fair enough.
No, I'm gonna be the new Eugene that's eventually coming out.
Oh, new Gene.
Yeah,
yes.
that's 5.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
Eugene.
Look, if we get a new Eugene in the year 2024, I will give Matt $50 or something. I don't know, because that's probably all the deck's gonna be
Ooh.
worth. But
Yeah, probably. You can get the whole deck with that. Very nice.
see, I got you, Matt.
Oh, thanks.
Well, hey, and then that can fit right into last week's episode where we had the cheap discussion or the price discussion on cheap Dragon Empire decks, and that won't be as cheap as Vergilia, but we'll also get the starter deck for that, so that might get more popular.
Yep. Hopefully.
So actually, I was showing it off on my stream the other day. I got a bunch of posters from our locals that they just don't put up, and obviously nobody wants them because they're just posters.
Right.
But I want them because they're posters. And I have one that actually has a release schedule for the rest of the year. So in August, we obviously have set 3 Dimensional Transcendence. At the end of September, we have Lyrical Monasterio Sparkling Stars, which I am becoming a Sajita believer.
Mm-hmm.
What do we have? We have. Oh, is that JP? Oh, then that's JP. Okay, I get it. So they have one row for JP and one row for English. I gotcha. I'm like, I can't read this, probably because it's in Japanese.
Right. Yeah.
Understood.
Good luck.
Yep.
But yeah, all these posters are super cool. I also got some Vice Shorts ones that I'm gonna try to sell. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know any Vice Shorts players.
Is it like a specific anime?
Yeah,
That's covered in
it's
White
there's
Shorts?
a couple Hololive ones. It's just like promoting the new sets as they go.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So-
I mean, hey, from what I hear, the kids really like Hololive, so you might be able to get a lot for that.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if your shops got this, Curly, but there was like it was probably about a 10-foot wide banner that had all of the Divine's Season 2 characters with their main units on it that our shop had. Have you seen that?
From set 1, you said? I'm sorry, for season 1?
For Season 2.
Season 2, I have not seen that, no.
Oh, yeah, it's a gigantic banner, and the store owner was showing it, and I'm like, hey guys, look what today's winner gets, and I just happened to win this past weekend. And
Yeah.
they're like, no way. And I'm just like, I'm kidding. He doesn't know what to do with it. I should have had Matt back me up, but
Damn.
so I think we get into the topics. Today we have 2 nice hefty topics. We're not doing a nation deep dive. We're not doing insults or nothing like that.
Sadly.
Yeah, sadly.
I can still insult you.
Yeah, this just won't be Vanguard based.
Yeah.
So with that said, I think it is time for you to grab a drink and take a seat. It's Deck Check time. All right. Today we are starting off our discussion with something I alluded to in the last episode, or I may have fully disclosed it because I was really excited about it for once. What rear guards do we see a lot of in the standard format that don't have a dedicated Vanguard? Often what I like to do, and I think you guys might be the same, just mill through the card pool that we have available to us.
Yep.
And sometimes units catch your eye and they're just like, huh, why is that never used? Oh, wait, it doesn't support a specific Vanguard. It just kind of follows the nation's generic play style. Or sometimes it can be like really out there and it doesn't follow the nation's play style. Maybe that's why it's not used. But I have a lot of cards that I focused in on. I even made a meme deck, for lack of a better term, out of the one set. So do you guys remember me trying to push my Jeepers Sweepers, my maid deck on everybody?
Yes.
I do.
Look, if it had a Vanguard, it would work, and that's what I'm going to talk about. But I still stand behind Electromagnetic Monster Illustrator, that
Sure.
guy.
Run that by me again.
Yeah, it's no, the pronunciations was 2 episodes ago. Sorry, I'm not.
Oh,
doing,
my bad.
Yeah, I'm not doing that today. I I know. I don't. Between those and then between the Divine Sisters, I really think they'd flourish with a rear or a Vanguard focused on their rear guard names, their abilities, their playstyle. Are there any that jump out to you guys?
You think that I'd be ready for this, but I'm not.
So I did look at a couple. I hadn't thought of how they would work together specifically, but I was more looking at, I guess, common. I don't know if you would call them like archetypes, but just the same like name heading that a lot of the cards have, that just don't have a dedicated Vanguard. And I think one of the obvious ones that you were probably going to get to, Docs, is also like the Steam performers that
Yes.
we've seen, like all of the Dark States cards, which are just um, steampunk people with usually with like instruments of some type, right? And they don't really have a general theme other well, I mean, they have a aesthetic theme to them, right? But they don't really have like a effect, that really works well together. The majority of them just have some sort of like gate, some kind of shield power effect or something like that, right? There's just a couple of them I can think off the top of my head. But overall, I think it would be just kind of cool to have one like a specifically quote unquote Gear Chronicle deck in standard that's not, something borrowed from the past. I guess there's some sort of pun there with the past, but um, something that actually also uses that aesthetic would be really cool.
Yeah, I think that those ones jumped out at me as time went on, I guess, because I was getting the cases from set 4 forward
Yep.
until Divines. And they always jumped out at me and I'm like, this is gonna be the set where we have like this, Claudine level Vanguard, like
Mhm.
and Claudine doesn't have any dedicated support, which is funny because we have that in standard, right? We have these Vanguards that don't have dedicated rearguard support.
Yep.
And, but we have all these rearguards that don't have it. Like, why not mash these together, please?
Yep.
That would be too easy.
Yeah, it would be way too easy. I think. Well, with the Steam ones, the ones that I'm most familiar with are the ones that people splash on the Cellargeist.
Right.
So,
Oh,
I mean, you're right. They don't have a common theme, but that's the most use I've seen for them.
Yeah, because there were some that I used to play in Barrel early on, because of course, they didn't really have a lot of options. So there was one that was just like a grade. She was basically like a what's that? Queen Lu, right?
Yeah,
She
Quinlan.
puts
Yeah.
herself into soul, gives something 2K, but she doesn't give the guard restricts, which makes her, worse Queen Lu, essentially.
Quinlan at
And
home.
then, yeah, exactly. Queen Lu in the closet because you don't pull her out. But then there were like two really pretty arts that I think they were both grade 2s that just got like some kind of shield value for some reason. But that's really the only ones that I can think off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's. I mean, Matt, are there any that you have splashed in anywhere?
Well, so speaking of darks, well, I guess specifically dark states. I tried once upon a time to use the Curial Realm guys, the tiny devil
Yeah,
and
I use those dudes.
devil
Yeah.
knights.
Yeah.
I tried using them. I don't know if they really worked for what I was doing, although I don't remember what I was doing. But I think that if they had their own little thing going, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
Vanguard dedicated for them.
absolutely. I splashed them into
Timestamp.
the no,
Oh,
the quick start deck boss for Dark
the
States,
Cellargeist.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I splashed it into that. But yeah, getting them to have some actual to do something in some sort of deck would be kind of nice, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I use those guys in Timestamp Dragon. That's like my main engine in that. But I think the one that's Steam Performer Tugui might, like, as I read this right now, so when this card is put into Soul by card's ability, if you have Vanguard that's only a Pale Moon for its clan, bind this card, search your deck or drop for a grade 3, put it into Soul. So the grade 3 part, I'm not sure how that would work yet. Maybe you throw Manticore in there, maybe there's going to be Nocturcio if we run Nocturcio. So that's actually a Steam Performer speaking about Harry a few minutes ago. That's one that we can splash in there.
I think you have to. Does the grade 3? The grade 3 has to be Pale Moon, or is it just any grade 3?
It says if your Vanguard is Pale Moon. So
Oh,
yeah, we can
okay,
just bind this out
interesting.
of soul and stick something else from deck into soul. So that might be kind of fun. Not at $15
Yeah.
each, but
Well, yeah, unfortunately. Because there's a lot of cute cards you can, or a lot of cute combos you can do with that. Like, because there's like this Blitz order that's in set 3 that's coming out that's called Walk the Dark, which is grade 3, and you can actually guard with it from your soul.
oh, that's actually okay. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, these in the fun thing about the Steam units, and then one of my picks is that they are actually in the same naming convention as the energy cyclers
Hmm.
that we got in set 1.
Are they?
So yeah, because for Dark States it's Steam Gunner.
Yep.
So she's in that steamy world. She's in that sauna. She's
Yeah.
a part of
Yep.
it. Uh,
Yeah.
Gungrim is a Steam battler.
Mhm. Yep.
I think those got to be the most common for sure.
Yeah.
Steam Raider Zamoog. I don't know if he counts Zamoog in there, but
Mhm.
yeah, they
There's
get
a
that.
lot of steam.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Steam.
Lots
Take
of
off your
steam.
glasses. I
Yeah. You have
and
the deck themed around like putting them into soul and doing what you do with things that you do in a Steam engine. That'd be great.
oh yeah, hey, you know what? You can, I mean, call him the conductor or something. I don't know. Make a Vanguard
Yeah.
Steam conductor Jim. I
Yeah.
There you go.
well, so for one of mine, I took this a step farther because I got really excited about the topic, and the first one I want to focus on is the Divine Sisters.
Sure. Yep.
So we have these Divine Sisters without a Vanguard. There is actually one Divine Sister with a Vanguard skill. It's the grade 2. It lets you Soul Blast instead of discard for a ride,
Oh right. Yeah.
which
One.
I tend to enjoy. And the skills of all the other Divine Sisters, unless you're searching using the grade 2 to search its best friend, the grade 1, then you're not going to be using Soul that much. So I looked and I was able to build the deck, and I'll put the deck log up on the screen. I'll let you know which card to replace with my imaginary card, if you will. But
Mhm.
I have 7 unique Divine Sisters in there. I have to round it out. I was confused. Which one's the Keter order? That's draw 2, play 2.
The Wisdom Order.
Wisdom. Yep, there it is. So I have that in there to help me fill the field, find my Divine Sisters. And if I had an imaginary Vanguard, okay, just pretend, close your eyes and go off to Cray with me, okay?
Mhm.
I have
Ooh,
Divine.
warm here.
Yeah, oh yeah, turn on the fan. I have Divine Sister Francesca the Holiest.
Okay.
And she has to have an Italian name because they're all very Italian named. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. Yeah. They sort of dropped the whole dessert cookie
Yeah.
kind of thing they had, and they're just like, oh, let's just make them Italian now.
Yeah, I mean, like there's Divine Sister Spumoni, Divine Sister.
Yeah.
It might be Sorbet, but Sorbet, Biscotti.
Yeah.
Sorbet.
Biscotti's the energy cycler.
Yeah. And then they snuck in s'more there all of a sudden. Like
Yeah.
they just can't make up their mind.
Yeah, it's just Italian desserts, and there's
Yep.
financier, which relates to the mafia. So
Right. Yeah.
so I made this imaginary Francesca the Holiest
Mhm.
to upkeep the divineness of the deck, and it does not have a divine skill despite being a divine sister.
Mhm.
But I said once per turn, counterblast 1 and soul blast 1 to return a divine sister from damage to hand, perform a damage check, because I love doing that in V, and if I play premium, I would do it in premium. But I
Mhm.
love those effects. It's like, oh, take a card from damage and put it back to your hand, perform a damage check. Oh, look at that, your trigger pops.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
love those. So I figured, I'm like, all right, let's have the Vanguard have a way to bring that style back. I don't think we have anything in standard that does that at the moment, right?
We have
There's
one.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
Y-
You probably don't use it, but I think there's a couple more actually,
Really?
but they're very specific.
Huh. Okay. Well, mine's better. So and then I gave her a second effect. If you have 5 or more unique Divine Sister units in their card names, you may restand up to 1 front row rear guard, and at the end of the turn, put that unit to the drop. So I gave it a 4th attack, and I gave it that damage swap that I loved when I play Angel Feather in V. So I'm like, with 7 different Divine Sister units, they hardly use Counterblast. Though there is one Divine Sister that says like Counterblast 2 to restand her if a trigger is
Mhm.
checked. And I'm like, excuse
Yep.
me? Why would anybody use that?
That actually used to see play originally in
Did it?
in Bastion, and I think in Hexorb as well.
That blows my mind. I can't.
Yep.
CB2 for a restand.
Hey, so 1 and 2 were rough times, man. We did what we could.
They were dark times.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like the whole nuns with guns.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know. I had a lot of fun making it. I've been playing it on Deer Days, minus Biscotti and obviously a Vanguard. So
Right.
I'm winning games against the computer.
Yeah. Okay.
Aw, nice.
Yeah, right. I mean, I had nothing else to do when I didn't have electricity for a week, so I made a really bad Divine Sisters deck.
I need you to play it at locals.
We can play it on CFA or something.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I definitely do not have the energy to dig through all of my bulk to find the Divine Sisters that do
Yeah.
exist. But I'll throw a deck log on screen and I'll let you know what's replaced for anybody listening. But I did make a full deck today on CFA. I didn't test it, but it's on CFA. So before I get into my second one, Matt, you did mention in the chat the other day that you would want to do something with the vegetables.
Yeah, okay, so real quick, since you said something about the energy cycler cards
Yes.
having the names, I was like, you know what, you're right, because even like the Dragon Empire one is Drag Rider.
Yeah.
The Stoichea one, it's something to do with like the Navy guys. I don't remember what they called. I'm like, wow, you know what? I've completely forgot about all of those.
That's weird.
But back to vegetables. Right? It is weird. But back to vegetables.
Yeah.
There's a specific race. I think they're the races, at least
Mhm.
dryads, which
Yep.
are the vegetable
Yep.
people. They need their own Vanguard, other than Granfia and Roroa, which don't specifically target them. But they generally make plant tokens. It's
I mean,
kind of
that
their
makes
whole gimmick,
sense. Vegetables are plants, so okay.
right? So on topic of making our own Vanguard and stuff, I did design something, although it's still a work in progress. But it's a chef that puts all of these vegetables in his soul, like he's cooking something up, and you're retiring plant tokens because you're chopping up the bad parts of the vegetables. It's very very thematic.
I like that.
But I love it because the more you have in your soul, the more strong his effects are. I haven't really figured out what that is exactly. But then you call out a grade 4 unit that is a stir fry or something, like a mash of these things.
Superior call a grade 4.
Yeah.
Head chef Remy. Isn't that the dude from Ratatouille?
Yeah, there you go. I forgot what I named him. Todd.
Todd.
Yeah. Connoisseur of
How
healthy
fitting.
dining.
Connoisseur of healthy dining Todd. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think we all agree here on the show, and Curly, this being your first time joining us, are you a part of the Peppery Pepper fan club, as that's the best crit in Stoichea?
I hate to divide the room,
Ooh.
but have we forgotten about the dog with the flute in Stoichea?
Oh, there is the
Melodia Pomera.
Yeah.
Not that I knew that off the top of my head. Or anything.
No,
Yeah,
I
of course not.
just pop, it's on the screen.
Yeah.
Actually, my one friend wanted to get in the game simply because of Recorder Raccoon.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
He saw Recorder Raccoon when I was going through one of my decks. He's like, I want to play the raccoon deck. And I'm just like, okay, well, there's not a raccoon deck. But
we'll make it happen, don't worry.
Well, I do have one other one, and this is off of my Jeepers Sweepers, my monster made mashup. It's not even Halloween, and I'm doing the monster mash. But I wanted to give them the love they deserve, because they came out. They have an order but they don't have a Vanguard.
Yep.
How do you make a freaking deck with an order but no Vanguard? Anyways, so what I did was in my Jeepers Sweepers, I did the Archetype Ride line to get the research cards out, and then to get 2 of the same named set orders for Event Robust. This would also use Event Robust. But I was thinking, what if we took the Archetype Ride line and changed it from research cards to a grade 1 set order, so that it's specifically the dispatch of cleaning three sisters, or whatever the actual title is. So we get plus 2k on our grade 1 ride and on our grade 2 ride. So that's plus 4k to the front row guaranteed.
Okay.
Then I have head of housekeeping Brenda, because Brenda is if you work in housekeeping and your name's Brenda, you have the perfect job for your name. But
God, I
So-
hope no Brendas are listening right now.
Brenda, let me know. And let me know what you do for a living. But I've noticed that the three Brush, Weeple, and whatever the other girl's name is, they all use counterblast, and they all try to find Weeple or try to find the order. So there's a lot of counterblast going on there. So I'm like, okay, countercharge is going to be needed. So I put Bulble Mine in my list, and again, I'll put up my fictitious list and let you guys know what to replace. But the Bulble Mine will help with the countercharge. If there's any soul needed for any other cards that you'd slide in there, Bulble Mine will help. But I have all grade 1s, except for a Bent Robust, and obviously the Ride Line. So I said, head of housekeeping Brenda, if you've counterblast 3 or more during your turn for your rear guard skills, you may Soul Blast 1 to countercharge 1. So if you're using all your counterblast and your rear guard skills to search, using Robust to find another order, if you CB3, you can go ahead and countercharge 1 for Soul. So Ride Line should be there, Bulble Mine, as long as you're not playing against Pure Light, so don't play against me. And then I wanted to focus on the name scheme again. And I kind of got what's her name? Charmoot. I kind of looked to that for some inspiration. So I said, if you have 3 different rear guards with Poos and Swestern and their different card names, and this unit is 25k or greater, so I gave it that power threshold, I just give the Vanguard a crit. So it's going to be easy, though, because if you have 3, or guaranteed 2, but if you have 3 of the dispatch orders, that's plus 6 to the front row. Then you Persona Ride, boom, you're over your 25k. So I'm like, okay, a 2 crit Vanguard, or if you're just there with what's it called, 4 copies of the order, or well, actually, probably I think that number you'd have to Persona Ride. But like, okay, get this over a certain power threshold, and then boom, you gain a crit. So I think that'd be a fun little Vanguard, but that's just me.
I'd play it.
Bad.
Yeah,
I'll try it.
Yeah, all right. Well, we can.
I'll try anything though.
We can.
Sorry, I had to tear you down a little bit there.
Yeah. You gave him too much.
Yeah. Look, I'm down to try these on CFA. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I would do. Doesn't Tabletop Sim let you put in custom cards because you're just scanning the images of cards?
I think
Yeah, you can technically do that in CFA also. It's just you have to give the other person you're fighting the same version of CFA.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you could do that, but that's beyond my that's beyond my technical expertise.
Yeah, I do that sometimes when like I'm impatient and a new thing comes out as an update. So I did that for the new Barrow, but I wouldn't recommend it. But what I would recommend, I was thinking this one may not fit per se, to be honest, but I'll sneak it in here anyways. So you know how we have Gryandra in Dragon Empire,
Yes.
and he's like thematically it's like the dragon and the human, they like fuse together to make the grade 3, and they do that mechanically as well.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that for like the other nations too?
Okay. I'm like, where this is going. I mean, we already have dual nation cards with a cabbage on a dragon, but
Right. Yeah. So like, I don't know, what if it was like, I guess they could all be dragons because you know how Bushiroad is with their dragons, but it could also be like something else. Like you could have like what would be for Sturkia? I keep thinking a horse, but I don't know if that look as cool. And I think we already have someone that fuses with a horse. So maybe not a horse. But yeah,
maybe like an aquatic animal with a soldier, like someone riding a dolphin.
Yes.
Eh?
Exactly. Yeah, that would be really cool for like Sokea.
Yeah. Oh man, Azim would be all over
Shark
that.
Boy.
Yeah.
Shark Boy.
Shark Boy.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. And then like it could have the same sort of like it could work sort of the same mechanically where like it does something with the original ride line. It doesn't have to have the same exact effect where it like rests and restand, or maybe it has the same effect where it rests, right? Because it's kind of like them defusing. but it doesn't have to have the same thing where it attacks from the back or something like that. But I don't know. I just really like Grandeur, and it'd be cool to like explore that sort of concept in like other decks, nations, I should say.
I love Grandeur. It's not there yet, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
It will
So
be.
yeah, it will be. Well, when someone told me about Latifah, I looked at that. I'm like, I'm not spending money on this deck right now. So
Yeah. No.
But
Just wait for the card to come out in set 4.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
The one that gives him guard restrict or whatever it is.
dude,
Yeah. That's gas. That's actual gas.
set 4 has me by the fellas. I'll just say
Yep.
that. I am completely dodging set 3, and set 4 is going to put me in the poorhouse, but that's okay.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's who
Lucky
needs
for me, I bought a case of set 4.
that? And lucky for me, I'm going for your scraps. So
You'll get what I feed you.
exactly, you'll like it. So do you guys ever think they're going to maybe one set in the future give us them in the way that they did a Claudine or a Timestamp Dragon or whatever the new current lyrical Vanilla Girl is? Do you think they're ever going to give us anything like this to tie all these together? Or do you think it's just going to be a running theme of supporting units in Dark States are steampunk and supporting units in Keter, went to Divine School? Like,
I think they might. I mean, I was also thinking maybe we could get something similar to what they did with like Alden, where he was originally a rear guard for Bastion and then he got his own deck. I was thinking something sort of different where we have in Dark States, we have all of these Desire Devils for Greedon, but there's just so many of them that they could easily make like a Desire Devil deck where like they get tired of working under Greedon. I don't know the lore. I'm just assuming that they're all like his like pawns or whatever, because he's just greedy and he just puts them into soul and does whatever. So maybe they like revolt against him and we get this like giant grade 3 dragon that maybe does like the opposite of Greedon, where like he calls stuff from soul or something. I don't know, but
your opponent
basically
loses at 5?
yeah, something like that. But like maybe they can take like existing archetype names that just don't do a lot for a deck and then make them their own kind of deck, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I want them to do, even if it's just there's not really a subset, right? Because what we have festival collection once a year, but I don't want to wait till 2025. But even if they did that, instead of just, I mean, personally, I need a lot more triggers because I have 48 decks, but I need. Don't ask Matt his number, but I
Please don't.
Yeah, I needed the triggers, but like if you want to put something fun in a set, give us the bosses or give us that new theme in Festival Collection along with shiny reprints. I know we talked about Festival Collection and all that good stuff in previous episodes, but I think that'd be the perfect time to do it instead of making its own subset or taking up space in a main set. Give us this for the goofballs out there who have dreams like I do.
I mean, I could see it both ways. They should probably do both, where like it should still be included in the main set just to make it easier, I guess, for people to get. Like if they come out with Divine Sister, it's like, oh, okay, I happen to have all these cards already. I just have to build a deck. But if they made like a standalone set that like heavily supported these new boss units as well with like core support, that'd work out too.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be mad at. I just know people get mad when the good quote decks get space taken up by these kinds of cards in a main set. So I don't want to upset the masses here.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll accept them for you.
Okay, good. You already told me today to not believe in myself. So
yes, don't.
Well, anything else before we jump to our next topic? I had my imaginary fun, and I would really, really love these, and we can definitely play on CFA if you guys are down sometime to show you exactly what Divine Sister Francesca the Holiest can do to you.
Oh, only if you let me play my new Zorga build.
That's a deal. I know how to beat Zorga. See, yeah.
Not mine.
No, probably not.
I built it like a dummy, but it works. I do. I'm a little late to this party, but Curly, you had mentioned
Mhm.
giving like how they did with Alden, where he was a rear guard, now he's a Vanguard.
Mhm.
I'm just saying, Bruce is the only sports team, Diablos.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think they need I think they need a rival team.
Yep. I'd love that.
Within nation or out of nation?
Probably within, because I mean, Dark States is known for their sports and
Yeah.
all that.
Well, it
Um,
could be in like Brankgate because they have Nova grapplers, so they're kind of athletic and competitive and whatnot, I guess. But
that's
yeah.
true.
And we literally had the
Uh,
arena in the last set, so
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's true. That's a different sport though. It's totally different.
Well, yeah, that's fine.
This is spike ball.
Yeah.
Um, but I think Leonard or however you pronounce it.
Mhm.
I think he can be a good rival.
And he
He's
just
traded to
gets
the other team.
drafted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. New team captain.
Yeah.
I
Cool. Yeah.
You know what? That's actually a fun idea. I don't know. I mean, I know getting into what ifs is, sometimes you're never gonna get that. Why you bothering? But let us have our fun, people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So with that, I think we're good. I wanted to just have fun and talk and riff, and we can play test, we can dream, but we all know that prison's best deck. So with that, that moves us to our next topic because it's all about prison, or at least in my brain it is. I think we are long overdue for a topic about Vanguards getting the best glow up from their original form to their new form. And my bias shows when I say that I absolutely think Prism would have gotten nowhere without getting Pure Light. And that is my favoritism best glow up. But overall best glow up, it's got to be Zorga into Nadir for me.
Absolutely.
Mm.
I think at least. I'm biased though. He's my boy.
Okay. I'll be as someone that hates Prison and Zorgo almost equally, I can break the biasness here. The upgrade from Seraph Snow to Pure Light was insane. But you can kind of say that for like I think all those grade fours because they're kind of if you look back on them, they're all pretty dookie without their grade four form. And maybe that was the original design, but Pure Light is just so much better than the original one. But when it comes to Zorga, who has like 12 forms or whatever, that greedy jerk, I think that the Masque form, in my opinion, did more than the deer. Because I just feel like there was, or at least maybe it was a bigger step up, right? Because I feel like the Masque already provided so much for Zorga originally, and the deer was like maybe a bit better. Whereas like coming from original Zorga, it was just from Zorga to Maz Zorga was just this like, whoa, this deck is like playable and it's insane now, right? It's actually functioning, right? Oh,
Well,
that's what I think.
no, that's true. I mean, Zorga. Oh, I mean, from base form to Nadir is miles and miles apart, but to Mask, it is also a huge jump. So,
Mhm.
Mask to Nadir, you're right, it's not as drastic. I've never fully played the deck because I'm too scared to make a mistake on Alchemagic and be
Mhm.
embarrassed in front of everybody. But I know hype when I see hype,
Mhm.
and you don't get hyped over bad stuff unless you're me. So,
Mhm.
I mean, well, what are the ones you have on your list, guys? Because I have a few, but my bias shows when I say snow. So,
I have a joke one that I can do real quick.
oh
Sure.
god,
Uh, I feel like you know what it is. It's Eugene into Gandiva.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good. Not gonna lie.
Pretty good.
doesn't look too similar or spelled the same, but you know what?
Uh, it's fine.
Listen, it's better Eugene. It's
Yep.
what they should have made Eugene.
Yep.
Poor boy.
I don't know why they had to make another dragon and they couldn't just give him a gun, but hey, oh well.
Right? Oh well.
But speaking on Mask, another one that I thought of was Magnolia, like grade 3 Magnolia into grade 4 Magnolia was, of course, a really good jump. And I feel like they did it twice with Magnolia really well. And I don't know if that means that the original Magnolia is just not very good or if they just got it right twice. But Magnolia into Magnolia Mask is also a really good upgrade because that deck also functions really well and it kind of does what the original Magnolia deck wanted to do, albeit with like maybe extra steps, but it just does what it accomplishes what it tries to do a lot better than original grade 3 Magnolia, which was at this point barely a Vanguard skill, right?
Yeah, and I I never played any of the Masque decks on release solely for the fact that Masque was so hard to come by.
Hmm.
I obviously had the case and I kept a couple for myself, but I ended up trading them for other stuff or more high rarity stuff that I wanted within the group. So I never
Sure.
really got to play him, and that was going to be my first big jump into Magnolia because I remember the starter deck just leaving you scratching your head and like, oh, that's all, huh?
Hmm.
So, in with grade 4, most of the grade 4s were a huge jump, and then when this looked like another jump, I wanted to confirm it for myself, but I just never got there.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is this one of your 74 decks, Matt?
Which one?
Magnolia Mask?
No, I play Magnolia Elder.
Oh, just grade 4.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't have both of them because I have to pick.
Because
There
you're
can
not
only
made of
be
money.
one.
Well, actually,
That too.
I shouldn't say made of money because Elder is like, or not Elder, Mask is 99 cents. So
Yeah.
That's like a whole $1 that I'd be out. It'd be $4 that I'm out.
that's an
You know,
entire
that's
McChicken and
too
sweet
much.
tea. Come on.
See, you understand then.
Side note, Allie was a wonderful wife today and stopped and got me the Hello Kitty and
Oh
Yu-Gi-Oh!
yeah.
And I got the Dark Magician. So,
Ah,
not
yes.
saying I'm the coolest kid in school, but I'm the coolest kid in school.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
I may or may not be running out after this to go and try and get my own copy, but we'll
Yes,
see what I get.
I'm pretty sure all stores are doing Dark Magician first because everyone that I've talked to across the U.S. they've all gotten Dark Magician.
Okay,
So,
okay, that works.
but back to Vanguard. I think that one group that it didn't all feel the same, but it was all very similar was the glitter units.
Hmm.
It almost feels like it's just, hey, remove counterblast but bind instead.
Yep.
Like Thuria is the one that got the biggest glow up out of those, in my opinion. But they all felt very, very similar in strength and almost similar in tactic. It just kind of removed a cost for their trademark skill, if you will.
Yeah, they're a tricky one because at face value, the upgrade doesn't seem like a lot. I think the only one that was really big was probably Chaos and Tamayura. Those were pretty big. Specifically, the Chaos one, I think, is just like the biggest, like, if we're talking straight upgrade between them, just because it does a lot that the deck needed, right? It lets it soul charge, it lets it get Makanis or whatever out from soul and stuff like that, and it gives, crit to the Vanguard. So it does a lot compared to the original one. But all of the glitter uh, cross rides or whatever you want to call them, they don't seem like much, but at the same time, if you incorporate if you look at it at face value, yes, but if you incorporate their skip rides, the decks function so much better now than they ever did before. So it's a bit of a tricky one to look at.
Oh, and that's the thing is like I was trying to think of the Vanguard itself because obviously with Little Immigrant and with Mayrig and what's the one in Stoichia? I forget that one's name, but with
Yeah.
all of those guys that shot the decks way up. But when I was thinking about these, it was tricky because I'm just like, okay, Vanguard itself, and that's what led
Yeah.
me to a Pay to Justice because you can from turn 4 forwards, as long as you have one in your hand, you can double Persona Ride.
Yeah. I mean, technically, you can Dagger is the one that you can actually do without the skip ride, and I think hers is possibly the weaker of the skip rides. But technically, you can use Epi the Justice on your first grade 3 turn, which none of the other glitter bosses can actually do because she has that one set order that lets you ride something from hand. So you can actually skip it to it and then
Yeah, there is
use
there is
her.
that older order. You're right. I
Yeah,
forgot about that card.
yeah, and then you can actually use her second skill to then ride again.
Yeah,
Um, so if we're looking at it that way, Thagger is the only one that's active on turn 3, so she does win in that department.
yeah, which is something that the deck really needs is speed because otherwise
Yeah,
it's just dead in the water. I mean, I played it in my remote locals this weekend and I only lost once, but still, it was because I was hitting them with plus 30 to my front row. Oh,
yep,
I added 4 cards to my hand, and then
yep,
on drive checks I had another 3.
yep.
Cool. So
Yep.
those ones, they were all kind of hard to differ, but I thought the Rio was the biggest. Matt, I know you kind of abstained from the glitter units, but
Yeah, I was gonna stay silent because I don't play any of them.
That's
I
fair.
I think you would like Tamira.
So the reason that I don't like the glitter units is just because I don't like having a named Vanguard with named support and
Mhm.
then duplicate named support, but like different names, slightly different names.
So you would hate
Uh,
Tamira. Got
yeah,
it.
yeah, because they have two versions of Rirami and Ramarami, and that's just weird, and I don't like it.
Well,
It's so nitpicky, but it's something that bothers me.
I know I've said it before on here and in person and everywhere I go. I just call them left girl and right girl. It
That's what they are.
Yeah, I can't be bothered. It's just left girl and right girl. Grade 1 right girl goes behind grade 2 right girl, and so on. And they have to be on that side of the board, otherwise I freak out. So,
I
uh,
feel it.
well, so what else? I think pretty universal. We all agree that Welstra got a huge buff.
Yes.
Oh baby. Oh, I love Welstra. I can't wait for the new cards to come out in set 4.
Yeah.
I spent a good hour last night trying to find my 3 copies that I traded for at locals, and I don't know where they are.
Oof.
Gone forever.
Yeah,
I
good luck with that.
I only have like 8 more deck boxes to check, and that was like a month and a half ago. So I tried remembering what deck I was playing that day. I looked at my binder. I'm like, oh, is it in the binder? I don't know where it went. And I mean, granted, I just traded something from my entry pack, but still.
I hope you find it though, because Welstra is uh, divine.
I see
Uh,
what you did.
I love him. He's so much better. I mean, he was. I still thought he was good back then, but he's way better now.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, what other? I mean, no, wait, there were no others, right? We had Razel was new, Varga was new, Chris Rain's new. There were
You
no
just
there.
got Welstra, Alden, and Zorga.
Yeah, and then we were talking about Zorga. I'm like, there's nobody else, and then Alden is there. Okay.
Unless you're counting set 3, then there's Arkwright, Doji.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
true. Yeah, those are
Technically Lukier.
yeah, and God, I wish I built that from the original set, but I didn't,
Oh.
and I feel dumb. But so what else do we have out there? We have I mean, we haven't talked any lyrical. Mine was
Yeah.
mine was kind of a cop. Mine's kind of a cop out. I say Kyrie. It
Oh.
It's a grade 4.
yeah, it's one of
They
the.
have so many dress ups though.
That's the thing. I looked at all the dress ups, and I play a good number of lyrical decks that have a dress up unit, and I couldn't really find one that really Mediel was near the edge of it for me of being near the top. I don't. They all didn't seem like they really jumped that much. I don't know.
I mean, the only one that I can think of that really was a huge jump was Wallista, considering she was the joke almost of
Yeah.
set 1, and then she became tier 1 and actually got put on the ban list. So hers was kind of big, but it was also mainly the fact that her support in the crossing Illumerays or whatever that order is called. It's really the fact that that counts as 2, which makes the deck so good. So I
Yeah.
don't know if that counts as her being good, because her
That's
effect is kind of the same thing.
yeah. That's why I shied away from her, because I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it's the order.
Yeah.
Same thing with the glitters, but it's hard for me to distinguish them because I don't play them as often because they're not as competitive as non-lyrical decks in our local scene. I mean, the people who come to our locals with lyrical, I don't know about for you, Curly, but people who come to ours with lyrical, they always end up with a positive record, it seems. So it's like, yeah, the decks are there, but I think it's people not having the exposure to them because they're not usually brought in tournament play for the most part.
I mean, yeah, that definitely happens a lot, but there is a lot that's going on in lyrical. Like if I exclude set 1 of Divines for lyrical, just because I haven't played into that as much, and if I just talk about like the festival collection ones, sure, there wasn't a lot going on, but they're definitely a step up from the original versions. It's just that some of the original versions were just not good at all. So like the new Filthy Rosa is a lot better than the old Filthy Rosa. It's just that, you know, they both have the same issue, and the old Filthy Rosa was just not very good. I think the new Clarissa is better than the old Clarissa, but like they're all upgrades, but they're just not like insane upgrades like we've seen, like definitely like with the grade 4s or with some of the mass decks, not all of them. I'm looking at you, Gravidia Mask,
Ugh,
but
vomit.
yeah, but they're definitely like an upgrade, and they do some things. They're just not insane as some of the other ones.
Yeah,
But yeah, it is mostly people just aren't playing them as much.
yeah. When it's always a surprise. I mean, you face someone with Fennel, and they're just like, "Excuse me, what happened?"
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I mean, we had a someone accompany one of our regulars at locals. She had never really played Vanguard before. She plays Magic,
Mhm,
and he gave her Fennel to play, and
mhm,
with a little bit of coaching in round one, she would have beat me, but because of the coaching, she said, "No, you take the win." I didn't
mhm.
beat you fair and square. But then after that, she swept. The next
Yep,
weekend she came, she swept. And
perfect.
I'm just like, okay, I'm familiar with the deck, but and like she just came in and she's like, nope, nope, boop, 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 done.
Love to see it.
And
I
yeah,
I'd like to point out that she beat me on grade. I was still on grade 2, but she got the over trigger.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that one don't
Uh,
work. Yeah.
Oof.
yeah. I'm
But
just gonna attack you with like 8 crits right now. Oh,
Yep.
okay.
so I
What?
mean, like, and there's another example of uh like people not being super familiar with the lyrical deck because it's not really used, but it does have its strengths.
Oh
So
yeah.
maybe one day we'll get an upgraded version of her. I don't know what you can do to make it more deadly because I
I don't know.
personally find it pretty deadly, but
I mean, hopefully they don't do. A lot of people call her like the lyrical Gravidia because they kind of function the same. So hopefully she doesn't end up like what they did to Gravidia and she gets a solid upgrade, but we'll see.
maybe we can just go back in time, put a mask on her, and see what happens. I don't
Yeah, oh god.
know. So I guess
I kind of hope they put new masks out.
really,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
uh,
wouldn't be
You
against that.
Eugene masks.
oh god.
Yeah, yeah, that'll make the deck more consistent.
Yeah.
I masks the mask decks never like I said earlier. I pretty much sold the ones that I had or traded them for higher rarity stuff, but I didn't really enjoy the mechanic that much. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just me. I did. I mean, heck, for
Come
the
on,
longest
it's
time, I splashed in one of the Dragon Tree units into Eva, and people were complimenting me at a BCS for it. So I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that. But
proud of you.
I mean, the whole deck's deck,
But
or the whole thing's deck compression. And what does Lloyd do? Search his top 5 for a card to call. Okay, cool, thanks.
Mhm.
done. But here's the thing. Greedon mask, really good. Saw very
Yep.
good competitive play.
Yep.
Orphis mask, when he came out, I don't know, not so much anymore, but when he came out, he was like the deck.
Mhm.
So mask good.
Mass good, yeah. I maybe they don't even have to come out with new mass decks. I guess maybe one or two or something. I don't know. But if they supported the mass decks, that'd be nice. Like if they gave them a new thing that searches out like their mass grade 3 or something like that, and maybe also gives them the order. I don't know. If they just gave them another wave of like, I don't want to say generics, but one of those cards that helped out all the mass decks, that'd be kind of nice at least.
Yeah, or I
Yeah.
mean, maybe a ride skipper for each would be a little bit of much of an ask, but that could be something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the problem with them printing new mask stuff is that they'd also have to print the mask again.
Yeah. True.
And nobody wants that.
How
I'm
many
sure.
how many times have they printed Yuika?
Not enough.
Yep.
Yeah, not enough. She's still $12, I think.
Yep.
Actually, well, I was looking earlier, or I was actually looking yesterday. Since I got the job, I was treating myself to $25 worth of TCG player, and Yuika is at the cheapest printing $9.
I believe she's
Oh,
14 now.
And there's 1, 2,
that's not bad.
3, 4,
Yeah.
5 printings that aren't FFR.
Yep. So
That's
6
fine.
technically. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, there are, I think, like 20 8 separate lyrical decks if you don't count all the upgrades. So she does apply to some of them. So
Yeah, that's true. I mean, even
That's why I didn't get into lyrical
because you can Valshablan.
oh man,
too much.
I never owned them in the first place because the lyrical sets I didn't buy cases, so
Mhm.
I never had them in the first place to let go of. So I really don't count that as a loss. I just play my decks suboptimally, but
Yep.
it's also a skill issue.
Yep.
All right, so I guess what else has gotten new forms? Jejeweled. You know what? That might be a contender. Honestly, grade 3 Jejeweled and grade 4 into Ignis.
Yeah, but then there was also so grade 3 deck ruled into Ignis, but what about Masque into Ignis or
Yep,
grade 3 into Masque?
yep. That's also. I see. I'm just mask ignorant. You didn't want to be around me during COVID. Uh, yeah, I'm definitely mask ignorant. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
What else? Okay. Here's another mask for you, Leonorn, with its
Right.
40
Yep.
different forms.
Yep.
Vivace, Vivace, Vivacici.
Mhm.
Zorga has its 10 forms. We mentioned Zorga.
Yep.
Bastion Accord. I consider that a pretty good from grade 4 into into Accord. It gives you
Yeah.
an option to play the deck as a 3 or a 4 deck, and I kind of
Yep.
like that.
Yep. I really like that. I was hoping they were gonna end up doing that for all of the original start deck bosses because I really like the option of in Bastion Accord, you can play Bastion Accord, which is a brand new Bastion, and then you can have the finisher of the grade 4. So you just get like all of the cards for Bastion in one deck. So it'd be cool, maybe if you could do that for something like Prison. I don't know what a new grade 3 Snow would do, but that'd be kind of cool. Something like that for
Oh, Nirvana.
maybe
Oh,
Nirvana, but we already have a new one, so maybe not. I don't know.
we Nirvana's beyond
no,
saving. I'm sorry.
no, I need to play my DSR. Nirvana.
So, and then Magnolia is kind of the same thing because she has a mask. So I guess that doesn't count. But I wouldn't mind if they made some sort of like card that, or just maybe like one card that somehow bridges the two decks somehow. That would be nice. How like Leonorn has the ability to play all her rainbow forms in one deck. But who knows?
That
Yeah.
that'd be an interesting concept. I don't know how they pull it off for each one of them, but
Yeah.
what else is there?
Well, so
okay.
what you're telling me is that Seraph Snow is the only one that hasn't got something cool other than the grade 4. From the original 5.
We just got multi attack. Okay, we're getting
Yeah.
we're getting there.
But like you said, Magnolia has masks. Bastion has Accord. Dredge or not Dredge. Bruce has what's your mom call her?
Viamanche Bruce.
That's the one. Nirvana has a whole new version. So
Yep.
Snow is just like, yep, I'm still Prison.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
She's you know what she's got? She's got me. Okay.
Yeah. I guess so.
That's all she needs.
I guess that's why she's where she's at.
Yep. See. Anyways, I'm gonna no. So Hex Orb had Aquamarine. I'm just trying to spitball here.
Not much of a boost, let me tell you.
I mean,
A
yes and
little.
no, but I don't know. It is and it isn't. Like Aquamarine is such a weird one. Like it's definitely it's in the same spot as the new Baromagus, where like it's at face value, yes, it's an upgrade. Is it everything the deck needed? Not exactly. And could they have done more? Yes. But
that was
someday.
That was one
Yeah.
of my hopes having you guest on this episode talking about these new forms. Was I wanted you to try to defend New Barrow, but
I mean, I can try.
yeah, that's
I like New Barrow.
I do too. He's good. Like he's like I said, he's better than the old one, but they could have done a lot more. But he's still, fine. It's just they addressed like 0 of his. They addressed like he has like 5 issues. They maybe addressed 1 or 2 with the support, but not like the other 3 that were really pertinent. So
I think I really just like his new ride line. That's about it.
Yeah, I love the new ride line. Even just the way they look so cool.
Oh yeah. I am a little sad that the grade 0 is still the same.
Yeah, like I am and I'm not. Like I wish they gave the grade 0 like kept the same dude,
Oh.
but like gave him a new
Same name,
form.
different art.
Yeah, yeah, like they did for Alden, but oh well.
Yeah. Oh
Well,
well.
what I mean, I'm pretty sure we've seen, what would you say, 80% of decks, the original Vanguard has had some sort of new form or glow up to them.
Quite a few.
Yes. I was actually someone had tweeted something about how this certain deck hasn't gotten support and it's like the Eugene of their nation. And I had a video idea to be like, oh, okay, cool. I wonder what each nation's Eugene is like. And then I was looking at it and I was just like, oh, pretty much all these decks have a new form. So I don't know if there's really too much. But the only ones that don't have like a new form are the one in question was Granfia, right?
Okay,
That's one
yeah.
of the ones that's like people are like, oh, right. He exists, right?
Wolf Boy, yes.
Flagberg unfortunately doesn't have a new form yet.
It's called Maelstrom. Mhm.
Yeah, I guess so.
Whoa.
Even though technically Flagberg is Maelstrom, like new form in the future or whatever. But I don't know if you want to count heroes, but they technically don't have a new form. But
Yeah,
I
no,
think
they
they're doing
don't.
fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't need one.
Yeah, they'll be okay.
All right, I'm gonna defend something real quick because you're about to say Bob Zargra somewhere
Yes.
in there.
Yep. Yep.
I want to defend that she doesn't need a new form. I
Okay.
think, and me and Ryan were talking about this. She needs a new type of arms, but
Yes.
like an armor that you
Cool.
can
Okay.
put over the Vanguard.
Okay. I would like that a lot. I like armor. I agree. I don't think she needs a new form, but she definitely needs like a new direction that
Yeah.
the deck can maybe go to. So yeah, some sort of like armor or just something new to do with her arms, like not her weapons would be pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Do you think they tried to do that with overdressing Trick Moon?
little.
Yeah, I don't really know what they were going for there. Like it was really hype when they like did that in the episode, and then afterwards it was just like, oh, it's just 5K.
I personally I play without it. I like the 25K boost to one unit instead, because then if I have multiple Trick Moons on the field, then it's 25 to each. But that's me.
Yeah.
That's how I like
Yeah.
it.
I think in my build for it, I only have 3 of the overdressed ones.
Yeah.
Just
'Cause I
because
think
they're targets for stuff.
there's that, and there's also like they have like some kind of, I don't know if it's retire, but they have some kind of protection, which is like one of Basavra's biggest issues, right? They're just like, oh, that's the next Trick Moon. Should be a shame if I like blew it up or whatever. But they like, I don't know what they did with that, man, because they also made it so that like you have to attack with your rear guards first, because he like gives the front row plus 10K or 5K or something like that. So you're almost incentivized to attack with them first to make Buff Cyber big or something like that. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
Yes.
know what they were going for.
So Verilord is when you overdress it, counterblast 1, choose a total of 2 arms from hand to drop, and arm 1 to your Vanguard, put the rest into your soul. And then the second effect is when this unit boosts in the overdress state, all of your front row units get 5K for each card your Vanguard is armed with. So it can be 10K to the front row, but if you put it behind the rear guards, you can get 20K to the front row. Well, first attack would just be an additional 10, and then after that it'd be an additional or an additional 5, and then it'd be an additional 10. And so I don't know.
Well, I think the optimal play, because I've been playing Bob Zarga for a while. You have two Verilords, one behind Bob Zarga and one behind whatever, and then a Trick Moon in the last column. And you just boost Vanguard first, and then your rear guards are more powerful. You still have to kind of rely on triggers, but there we go. Just give her a crit, an extra crit on her rear guards. Boom.
Just
I mean,
giant number, big damage.
Some armor that shares the weapon with a rear guard or something.
There we go. I just realized, now me and Ryan were talking about this just for fun, but if you had another armor piece on her, that's another arm. So like Verlord would
Yep.
make even bigger numbers.
True.
Yeah.
Trick Moon would make even bigger numbers.
Yeah.
So I like
You
that.
I mean, what is it? A
They
chest plate? No.
they could a lot of people have been wanting her, especially since they got that new card in set 4 that like calls itself from drop if you arm. So a lot of people want her to be able to like arm mid battle. But I wouldn't
Oh.
mind if they went like a Chris Rain route where like she like throws her sword at Balaglord and then he gets like all her power or something like that and he can attack now.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I like
that'd be some sort of armor that lets you share. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, yeah. Instead of just giving her, oh, I restand now, like they always do. They always break the glass in case of emergency restand. But
Well, like you were saying earlier, Bushy loves their dragons.
Yep.
It's only second to Fire Emblem in how much
Yep.
how much they love dragons.
Yep.
I was gonna say that earlier, but I forgot.
Yep.
So who else was on that list? It was Granfia, Bav, Eugene,
Flagberg.
Flagberg. Was there anybody else on that list?
Heroes, but technically not.
Yeah, heroes are okay.
I love
there's
my heroes.
yeah, it's a pretty good anime.
Right.
There's technically stuff like Alter Slaughter, Farvneal, and Graham Grace. If you count those, I guess.
Yeah, I mean they're old enough to where they could be in consideration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I want someone to be like, "Oh, Greandra, that just came out."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Other than obviously Eugene, but
Poor boy.
Megalaguchi. But yeah, that's about it.
Zucchini Dragon. Yeah. I mean, he's a
Let's
promo
see.
boss. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, can they just make a whole bunch of promo bosses into real bosses?
Hey,
Real
Claudine
boss.
is a real boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Claudine's real.
My bad.
Ham fat is real.
Oh yeah, I forgot. My buddy Jello plays that, and he actually made it somewhat good. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is respectable. It's not just a pile,
Yeah, it's pile, but like with an extra Vanguard for it. It's perfect.
Oh, so the pile gets a dedicated Vanguard, but my Divine Sisters can't. Got it.
No.
Okay, fine. That's whatever.
Your Divine Sisters aren't worth. Well, I guess Scotty might be, but they aren't worth like $40. So no.
Yeah, Biscotti's worth a couple bucks.
Yeah.
There's always an outlier. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be up late at night tonight thinking about how all the cyclers have the naming conventions of the unsupported rear guards now.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That bothers me. I'm gonna write my congressman or something.
Oh,
but I mean, hey, it's election time. They gotta listen.
Yeah.
So, anybody else with the big globes? Anything we skipped over, or anything you want to mention there?
I think we went over all of them. I keep just thinking in my head of the bad ones.
Yeah.
Like maybe
Gravidia.
not so Gravidia, and then there's like Omnia Gruja doesn't count because it was there's no time for it to grow up, right?
Yeah.
There's Astoria, which I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to get depressed.
She has her mask.
She should not. She should take it off. Wash your face. Do some better. But yeah, I think that's all the upgrades really.
Yeah, and I hated lumping lyrical together, but all the dress ups are just barely improvements.
Yeah, and I'm not really liking the newer ones that are in set Divines 1. Like they kind of fall in the same category for me, at least, where they're like improvements, but they're not anything crazy.
Yeah, and the new prisms. I mean, I know we're going back to Vert and Rosa and Clear. Is it no? It's Vert, Rosa, and who?
Coral.
Yep. And
wait, no.
Huh?
Sorry. For the ride line specifically?
Yeah.
Oh no, Coral is separate. It's Vert, Rosa, and Clear. Yeah.
It was okay. Yeah, and I haven't seen anybody make that work, and I know that was one of my favorite things to play in V, and I don't see it working in standard right now. But
I mean, it had some results, but yeah, it doesn't do anything crazy yet.
Yeah, and we'll see where it goes. I mean, we still have our dedicated lyrical sets, even though lyrical's now a part of main sets, which is
Yeah. But hey, I mean, they have too many decks to support in main sec, so we're gonna need that at least once a year, to be honest.
Oh yeah, it's just crazy to me how we enter this whole new era and they're like, oh look, Lyrical's a part of the main now, and then Lyrical still gets its own
Yeah.
bushy R&D. I'm talking to you.
Yep, directly.
Actually, I'd love to talk to you guys. I have some ideas that they're about
Yeah.
nuns and maids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And vegetables.
Nuts and maids and vegetables, oh my.
Yeah, and then they can, I can show up dressed as a steampunk guy. It'll all come full circle. Or no, that'll be my second visit. I'll be the steampunk guy and wearing like a football jersey, but it's ironic because I don't follow football. And then I pitched them that dude joined the other team. There we go. This is all coming together, and I'm giving everyone my ideas without trademarking them. This is terrible.
Don't worry, I'm already at the patent office getting this
Yeah.
done.
I mean, it's 8:30 at night. They're probably open, right?
Yeah.
The government
I know
works
that.
all hours of the day.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all I've got for today. Before we wrap it up, anything else you guys want to throw in there? Anything topic related or just Vanguard related?
Barrel Magus best deck.
Yep, naturally, yes. And Matt's gonna say Eugene best deck.
Sorgo best deck. Listen.
Okay. There.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, you guys, thank you for tuning into this episode here. We are back on our regular schedule. No more tornadoes. If a flood happens, then we'll miss another episode, and that'll be really depressing because all my recording stuff is on the bottom floor of my house. So no floods, please. But
Yikes.
one more big thank you to Curly for joining us today, taking Ryan's place while he is falling off a boat in Alaska. Thank you, everyone. I'm sure if you've listened to this, you already know who Curly is. If you don't, we are looking at Curly Haired Vanguard on YouTube. Make sure you give him a sub, watch the videos, and he has very inspirational messages during his streams. I promise you. He doesn't.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing bad goes on my stream.
He doesn't degrade you or anything. No, nothing like that.
No, nothing like that. But thank you guys so much for having me. It's been a blast. I'll make sure Ryan gets back on his belt safely, but maybe not so quickly. So I can get back on.
Throw him a lifesaver.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be back next week. Don't worry.
Yes. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for listening. We are on X or Twitter, whatever you still want to call it, at DeckCheckVGPod. It's mainly Docs running the account. That's me. I'm Docs. I spoke in the third person, but Matt makes an appearance every now and then. So, follow him, and you'll be his first follower probably.
Yeah, I don't Twitter or X or I don't have social media, so I made it just for you.
He's not even real, you guys.
I don't exist.
All right.
Wait, what?
What? Thank you guys one more time for listening. I appreciate it. We'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.
Take care.